Imagine that the place we visit the most is the scariest place and is haunted by demons. Join me as I tell you the story of conquering the train station, and at the end you will get a point that if such a situation happens to you, you will know what the right decision is. In a small village in England, there was a railway station known as the Chaos Railway Station, due to its age and the tragic historical events that had occurred there. In the 1920s, this station was one of the busiest in the region. However, in 1924, a terrible accident occurred. A train derailed and collided with the station wall. Over 30 people lost their lives in this incident, and over 50 others were injured. After this incident, the station was closed for a while, but it was eventually reopened. However, strange and unusual events always occurred at this station. For example, many passengers reported hearing the sound of footsteps coming from the station stairs, even though no one was in sight. Also, many passengers reported seeing a young woman in black clothing at the station, but no one knew who she was or where she came from. In 1950, a group of researchers were sent to the Chaos Station to investigate these events. They began to examine the station and eventually found something strange and unusual. They discovered an old tunnel that had been closed off due to the construction of a new railway bed. They decided to open the tunnel and enter it. As soon as they entered the tunnel, they came face to face with something that no one could imagine. They encountered a strange and eerie creature that looked like a ghost. The creature seemed to have appeared from somewhere else and was now living in the station. The research conducted after this incident showed that this creature was actually a ghost that had been trapped in this tunnel. She was a young woman who had lost her life in the train accident that occurred at the Chaos Railway Station in 1924. Her ghost was following someone she loved and hated in her real life. Since then, this station has always been known as a mysterious and creepy place. Many people have been amazed by hearing the story of this ghost and the strange and unusual events that occur at this station. This story has always been one of the most popular horror stories for them. After a research was conducted about the ghost woman, Chaos Railway Station was closed due to its frightening nature and negative effects on passengers and staff. However, some people still sought to visit the station and see the ghost woman. One of these individuals was a young man named Tom, who had a particular interest in the ghost woman and the Chaos Station story. He decided to travel to the area with his friend David. Upon arriving at the station, Tom and David decided to search for the tunnel where the ghost woman was trapped. They investigated the tunnel using flashlights and inspection lights, but what they saw there shocked them. They encountered the ghost woman, the same creature that had been found during the previous investigation. The ghost woman, dressed in black, stood in the tunnel and stared at them. Despite being frightened, Tom and David enjoyed seeing the ghost woman. They believed that she was a ghost woman who had been trapped in an unrequited love and was now living in this tunnel. Tom and David decided to follow the ghost woman for more adventure. They traveled through the old railway tunnel, using flashlights to guide their way. After a while, they arrived at a large gate that led to an old church. They explored the church and discovered that the ghost woman was inside. She was dressed in black and playing the piano. Tom and David were amazed by the sight of the ghost woman and felt like they were in a dream. However, as they approached the ghost woman, they realized that she was actually a real human who had created a new world for herself by being alone in the church. The ghost woman told Tom and David that she had been in love with a man who had betrayed her in the past, causing her to become depressed and choose isolation. Tom and David decided to help the ghost woman and help her get out of this state. They talked to her and tried to help her move past her past. Tom and David attempted to get to know the ghost woman better and learn more about her. Through conversations with the ghost woman, they helped her leave her past behind and continue with her life. Can Tom and David help the ghost woman? Can the ghost woman get out of this state and move on with her life? By following the story, you too can answer these questions. Tom and David stayed in the church with the ghost woman for a few days and helped her fight her fears and depression. They talked to her about life, love, and ways to fight depression, and the ghost woman gradually became better. She no longer stayed alone in the church and went with Tom and David to visit other places around the Chaos Station. But one night, when they returned to the church, they were faced with a terrifying scene. The church gate was open, and inside the church, a dead man lay on the ground. Tom, David, and the ghost woman attacked the church in fear and realized that a man named Chen had accidentally opened the church gate and had a heart attack after entering, resulting in his death. This incident was very bitter for Tom, David, and the ghost woman. They were trying to help Chen, but when they arrived at the church, it was too late. They talked to each other about their sorrow and fear and decided not to leave the church. They stayed in the church all night and recited a prayer for Chen. But the next morning, they realized that they had to leave. They fought their fears to leave the church and finally managed to get out. However, this incident remained in their memory. After this incident, Tom, David, and the ghost woman decided to leave the Chaos Station. They went to visit other areas and cities around the station and continued their lives. But the memories of that bitter night remained with them. In the following years, news of accidents and crimes at the railway station reached their ears, and the station became one of the places people avoided. But Tom, David, and the ghost woman still remember the time they spent at the station, where they faced fear and terror and helped Chen together. They always repeat this experience to each other, reminding themselves that if they did not have each other, they might have failed to face these great difficulties alone. Tom, David, and the ghost woman still remember how they came closer to each other on that bitter night and fought their fears and terrors together. They always remember the memories of the Chaos Station, where they fought together against fear and terror, but they always keep the names of Chen and others who lost their lives on that bitter night in their memories with the sadness that always remains in their hearts.